Is the Triple M investment scheme a Ponzi or a pyramid scheme? What prompted the National Consumer Commission's investigations on pyramid schemes? Is it legal for consumers to join pyramid schemes? And why are the Hawks investigating Triple M? What time is it? It's question time. Welcome to the show. My name is Mpho Tsedu. The Consumer Protection Act states clearly that a person must not directly or indirectly promote or knowingly join, enter or participate in a pyramid scheme. This has become more topical as pyramid schemes in general and the Triple M investment scheme in particular continue to make news headlines. The future of Triple M is hanging in the balance following its collapse in Russia, where it is believed to have its roots. Meanwhile, the Hawks, with the support of crime intelligence police officers, have launched an investigation on the investment scheme. We are live, and therefore you can call us. The number to dial 089-1104-210. If you're outside the borders, 002-789-1104-210. Our Twitter handle at QuestionTime24. My guest, Hangwani Mraudzi, he's the spokesperson of the DPCI, which is popularly known as the Hawks. He joins us from our Sea Point studios, and we expect to be joined by Trevor Hattingh, Consumer Commission spokesperson as well. Hangwani, let me welcome you. Oh, and Trevor as well, let me welcome you both, gentlemen. Let's firstly get something clear here, Hangwani. Is Triple M a Ponzi scheme or a pyramid scheme, and is it illegal?
Mpho, thank you. Thank you for having us and giving us this opportunity to speak to the nation. Well, we are in the process of trying to ascertain whether this is a pyramid scheme or a Ponzi scheme. What we can confirm is that we received a complaint from the National Consumer Council that there is this entity in the country that is believed to be a Ponzi scheme, and there is rooted in the country where there's a lot of people that have actually joined it, and at the same time we needed to look into its workings, how it operates. Hence now we have you might call it an investigation, but we normally call it an inquiry. There's an inquiry that has been opened, and there is an investigator from our commercial crimes unit who is looking into this, where he will be able to give us a report, and that report will then be able to ascertain as to whether we should continue with this investigation or not.
Trevor, I think let me welcome you as well. Why did you even approach the police? What's wrong with Triple M?
Well, it's very obvious. A pyramid or a Ponzi scheme, the objective thereof is to defraud a person of his money. And fraud is a criminal activity, and criminality is investigated by the South African Police Services.
But what is illegal here?
Well, I mentioned in my opening statement that the objective of a pyramid or a Ponzi scheme is to defraud. And fraud is criminal.
Well, they're saying they're neither A nor B of what you have said. They are not a Ponzi scheme, they are not a pyramid scheme.
Well, that is exactly what we are investigating, and that is what we want to establish, whether or not they are a pyramid scheme. But what I can tell you as a fact is that they bear the hallmarks of a pyramid scheme as well as a multiplication scheme.
Okay, who is being defrauded here, Trevor?
Participants in a pyramid or a Ponzi scheme maybe I must begin by saying this. A pyramid or a Ponzi scheme will collapse at some point in time. And when it collapses, the participants in that scheme will have absolutely no recourse under the law. And that is when they're going to lose their money. And when they lose their money, it basically amounts to fraud, because they've entered into a scheme or an arrangement whereby they have no tangible documentation for their participation in the scheme. They've got no recourse, they've got no head office, they've got nobody that they can go to when they want to claim their monies back if and when the scheme collapses.
But Hangwani, aren't the police supposed to investigate crimes where the complainants have come up and said we have suffered some loss here?
Well, look, we are in a very tight situation here, because we would love to have people coming to us and give us that information. But it seems as if people are very much reluctant. And as an organization, we have a responsibility to make sure that the interest of the country are taken into serious consideration. In this Ponzi, or you call it a pyramid scheme, we are talking about millions of people. That is the information that we have received so far, that they have joined this Triple M. And we are talking of millions and millions of rands that might have been invested, if we want to use that word. Now, like my colleague said now, if that scheme has to collapse, how much money is the government going to lose? How much money is this country going to lose? Are these people doing this thing following the due processes or following the policies of the country? Issues like tax that has to be paid and all those kind of things. No, it is very much difficult now, as it is, that we are dealing with an entity that is being driven from outside the borders of this country. So we have a jurisdiction problem. However, as the Hawks and as well as the police, we do have our mutual agreement with different entities like your FBIs and everybody. So in this country, what we have already done, we have enlisted the assistance of crime intelligence, the Financial Intelligence Center, the SABRIC that is also assisting us in terms of making sure that we get information about this Triple M. Okay. And hopefully out of that we'll be able to know exactly where we're moving to.
Bongeni, you are in Soweto. Welcome to the show.
Yes. What I would like to know from the National Consumer Act.
Yes.
Is there somebody who laid a complaint?
Well, they said nobody.
But now, because many people are unemployed, and most of the people, what they are doing, they are taking chances. It's like a gambling.
So are you saying the police and the commission must stay away from...
Stay away, because people are unemployed. Because it's like, you know, when you gamble, it's your choice.
Why don't you gamble legally then?
No. When you see a thing like this and you see that people are benefiting and you want to try your luck, you try your luck there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Trevor, you heard him. I mean, he's saying stay away from our business.
Well, it is not for him to say, unfortunately. It is about the best interest of the citizens of this country. We cannot go on what one person is saying and then expect the whole country to abide by that. The citizens of this country must be protected from fraudulent scheme in office, and that is exactly what we are going to do.
But the citizens are the ones who are playing, who are members or participants in this.
I beg your pardon?
I'm saying the citizens are the ones who are members of this scheme themselves.
Well, maybe I should begin by saying this. We are protecting them against themselves. It has been proven that these kind of schemes will collapse. And when they collapse, we are going to have a situation where people are going to be devastated. They are going to come to the authorities. They are going to come and seek help. Perhaps, maybe I must also say this. There are people that rely on various small forms of income. And when they lose that little bit of income that they have, where are they going to get money from? And these kind of schemes have the potential of depriving those people from that little bit of money that they have.
Okay.
We are trying to put an end to something like that. We are preventing what could possibly happen, and we do not want fraudulent schemes or offers to be made unto anyone in this country.
Okay. Francois, you are in the Eastern Cape. Welcome.
Good evening, Paul. How are you doing?
I'm well. Thanks for the call.
Good. Always good, man, to watch the show.
Thank you.
Paul, maybe this would be a little bit insightful, man. Out of experience in the past, in the Northwest, these pyramid schemes dealt blows, man, to people's lives. Others benefited, okay. But the problem here is that, people want to make more money. Other than the banks where you actually, invest your money in the banks, I think somehow government must start elsewhere. Start with the banks and check what the banks are making out of people's investments. And then, they give, and the returns people are getting is actually just peanuts. Sometimes they make 80% because they invest in offshores and all those kind of things, and they got returns, and that is it. And when they have to give to investors, they're getting a little. So then people would be lured to these schemes because they promise, whopping, interest on their or return on their monies. I think that is a problem, yeah.
Okay, Francois, thank you very much for the call. I want us to take a quick break. When we return, please, if you are a participant in Triple M, give us a call. I want to hear from you. Did you get this money? I hear stories that people have resigned from their jobs. You put in 5,000 Rand in January. By December, you have 50. You put in 50,000 Rand in January. By December, you've got 1 million Rand. I want to hear those stories. 089-110-4210. This is Question Time.
When you're growing a business, you're not just doing it for yourself. But we know you knew that. When you're growing a business, handshakes mean food on the table. But we know you knew that. We know success is not final. We also know failure is not fatal. It's the courage to continue that counts. The courage to grow is business. We've got the advisors, products, and solutions that enable you to do so.
Welcome back. You're still watching Question Time. My guest today, Hangwani Mraudzi, is the spokesperson of the Hawks, and he's in our Sea Point studio. And from Pretoria, Trevor Hatting is the National Consumer Commission spokesperson. I want us to just look quickly here at what this scheme promises. You will see that the amounts that are referred to here, if you put in 5,000 Rand it is, in the first month you get 6,500. If you put in 10,000, you get 13. If you put in 20,000 in the first month, you get 26. And then if you put in 50,000 in the first month, you get 65,000. And if you put in 50,000 Rand, after 12 months, you get 1.2 million Rands. I mean, who wouldn't go for this? Andile, you are in KZN. Welcome.
Yes, thank you very much, sir. I just want to actually make a very quick comment also in what our national consumer representative is saying there.
Yes.
We as a nation, democratically, we've been given freedom. So we are not seeing any freedom of some sort, because we feel we are being oppressed by our government and also the financial institutions, because it is of a very great sadness that they do not want us to be free financially. It means that we should live a life of begging. He is saying right now that he cannot listen to what one person is saying. Obviously, us as concerned citizens of South Africa, we cannot listen to what they are also saying, but they must leave Triple M, because we have never laid any complaint, and for that matter, it is working for us and has seen the good result.
Oh, Andile,
Yes.
Are you a participant?
I am.
Okay.
I'm a proud member of the Triple M.
Okay, just tell me, is this true, really? I mean, if I put in 50,000 after 12 months, I get 1.2 million.
It is very much true. I've been involved with Triple M for the past 4 months.
Where does this money come from?
I will make a contribution of 100,000 rand, and I'm always getting it.
So where does this money come from? I mean, it must be coming from somewhere.
That is the thing. That's the investigation that they need to look to, because what Mavro has done, he has created a server, like we all know, like Facebook and WhatsApp. Obviously, what he's making the interest out of that. And this is an online stock fund. It's not any sort of investment. We are not putting a money to somebody who we do not know. I mean, like, for instance, to say that there's only one bank account. We are dealing with a stock fund, people around the globe. South Africa, name them anywhere. So it doesn't go to Triple M. It goes to the people whom we are the stock fund with.
Trevor, I mean, really, this man says they are benefiting. Why are you trying to pull a black man down, he says?
No, we are not trying to bring any person down whatsoever in this country.
Yeah.
As I mentioned earlier on, we have a responsibility and a duty to protect them, even if we see that they are heading towards harming themselves. We have a duty to do that, and that is exactly what we are going to do. Like I mentioned earlier on, the scheme bears the hallmarks of both a pyramid scheme as well as a multiplication scheme. Both those schemes that I mentioned just now are outlawed by the Consumer Protection Act.
Okay.
This is a law that was put in place after a lot of consultation, after a lot of research was done, not just in South Africa but globally, and the need for such a legislation was evident, and that is why we have this kind of legislation in place. And like I said, we have a responsibility to ensure that people are protected from such schemes. We protect those who are not as educated and not familiar with the consequences of joining a scheme like that. And also for those who are participating and knowingly participating, we are protecting them against themselves.
Okay.
As it stands, we've never had a pyramid scheme that sustained itself over a long period of time, and inevitably it is going to collapse, and someone is going to be devastated about the loss of his or her money.
Okay, Hangwani, the founder of this scheme, Sergey Mavrodi, is a convicted fraudster in Russia there. Is that perhaps the lead?
It is a lead, a serious lead, in fact. And I think we also need to warn our communities, our people in the country, that here we are dealing with a person, and I think they are not taking it very seriously, a person who has been convicted as a fraudster. And I think we need to be very much worried in that sense. This country, I think we also need to just to make sure, just to fortify the fact that this country has got laws. Yeah. And we are not staying in a banana republic where people can do anything as they wish. And that is why, as the Hawks, that is why, as the entire police office, service, we will be assisting the NCC to make sure that we deal with this matter. And I'm also a bit disturbed for the fact that the people who are actually calling in, they are saying we should leave them to do, and continue with this thing. We can't. For them to actually take a decision to go to court, it shows that they are also worried. Now, I'm not sure whether it's Bongeni who called in earlier,
yes,
who said that there was no one who who has made any
complaints,
laid any complaints. We do have complaints.
Okay.
Unfortunately, I can't give you the numbers, but we have received complaints from the Hawks, and we're working on them.
All right. Nonhlanhla, you're in KZN. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for accepting my call.
You're welcome.
Sir, I appreciate the concern about our leadership in the country with regards to this matter, and I think it's quite important. But on the same token, as a participant in the scheme, I am no legal expert and I'm no financial expert, but I know that my life has changed since I've joined the scheme. Now, the point here is that with all of this hoo-ha that's going on, this is a wake-up call for our banks in South Africa that are overcharging people on bank charges and all other charges that exist. Investigations have been done. Banks are supposed to reduce the cost. They have not done that. If you take a credit card and you pay it off and you have excess funds in it, they literally advise you not to leave those funds in there because they have to pay you back interest because they don't want to.
Okay.
You invest money, 100,000 rand, they take it from you, they keep it for you, they save, and then they lend it to you. They charge you 24% and they give me 7% for keeping my money. Is that fair? Is that fine? So yes, we have been benefiting. I think what our authorities should be saying, what is working with this scheme. They shouldn't be saying it should be brought down. South Africans are saying banks should simplify their languages. They shouldn't speak a language that does not benefit the people when it comes to the money they have worked hard for.
Okay. Nonhlanhla, thank you very much for that call. It would appear the Commission will seriously have challenges here. People don't want you in as far as this matter is concerned. Trevor?
Well, this is the law. Unfortunately, in this country, we need to abide by the law. I listened to the last caller just now. What we need to understand is, yes, of course, we all would like to make money, but it is important for us to do that legally and not to make our gains as proceeds of criminal activities. Any of us can go out and say that if I go and steal, if I don't have money, I can go and steal and then take from someone else and just do as I want to with it because it's now mine. We can't do that. As the police spokesperson mentioned earlier on, there are laws and this country is governed by laws and we must comply with the law. If Triple M wants to make money, if they want to be a scheme that benefits the people, then they need to follow the legal processes of registering, of becoming an authorized financial services provider and then subscribing to the regulations and the laws of the countries in the country insofar as providing financial services to people. They are not currently doing that. They are a risk to invest in.
Okay, let me take Masike in Mangaung quickly.
How are you?
I'm well, thanks for the call, ma'am.
I'm fine, thank you.
Yes.
I want to comment on Trevor's input.
Yes, quickly, ma'am.
We are participants. Trevor says they are making us aware and they are trying to protect us. My concern is the commission, like the earlier caller. The commissions protect us on the scheme, but it fails to protect us on the bank charges. There are some rules, the FICA rules or laws that will only hear when you have a problem with the bank, when you inquire about the charges that the banks are charging us. Yes. But at that moment, the commission is silent about it. I think it's now time for our South African lawmakers to check those gaps that are there, because you have been here, the banks are charging us high amounts.
Okay.
And secondly, Mr. The police officer. Yes. He says this Mavrodi is a crook from Russia. Now I don't understand. Should we not participate because he is a crook, or should we not participate because it is a scam?
Okay.
By the way, we are benefiting, like all the callers have been saying.
Okay, Masike, thank you. I have to cut you.
They initially said it is an online stock fair.
Okay.
Why?
Masike, I understand that you are getting quite emotional about it, but we have run out of time. I want to quickly just go to our tweets there. Maketa Tabang says, I honestly wish people would avoid such, even if under financial constraints. If it's too good to be true, don't do it. Okay, that's Tabang Maketa. Avril Vilagazi says, yes, it works and I have benefited. Okay. Mama Bulo Abel says, I know people who benefited. They even built houses. I'm too afraid to join though. Okay, that's all we had time for today, unfortunately. But the last one, Hangwani, if you really make a breakthrough, are the investors going to get their money back? Yes or no?
No.
My word.
It would have collapsed. That's it.
Okay. Well, that was question time for today. A big thank you to my guests and to you for watching the show. Have yourself a wonderful time. Goodbye.